losses are being coached by Noble Schumacher.
Can't accept the loss, I'm hard-headed. There's a little bit of madness to my method. Many falling off that fine line that I'm treading. I risk anything to be great, and I'm not letting nobody rob me of my victory. Number one, that's what I'm meant to be. When by any means, only thing that makes sense to me, I can make nice or make history. I got that dog in me, yeah, turn me up. Big energy, got the crowd going nuts. I got that dog in me, yeah. I take on anyone, I don't need a one-on-one. Got that dog in me, yeah. I'm talking all bite, no bark. I could rip your squad apart. I got that dog in me, so what's up? Yeah, so what's up?
Good evening, folks, and welcome to tonight's varsity basketball game between the Mascoutah Indians and your Edwardsville Tigers. The Tigers are white hot right now, having won 4 of their last 5 games, although the Indians are formidable in their own right as they are 5-1 in their conference. Tonight I'm joined by senior Austin Yamnitz. Austin, how are you feeling?
Feeling pretty good tonight. Hoping the Tigers can come out with a win here and get their 15th win of the season.
So it's a steal by Tillman early. Fast break, takes up, it's poked free by an Indian. It's number 11, Greg Adams.
Again, I'm hoping that the Tigers can get started here early. Again, Tillman forced a turnover there. Hopefully the Tigers can get going hot.
Way out to Coates. Over to Martin. Tillman. Backs back out. Big crowd tonight, Austin. Even on a Tuesday, Mascoutah traveled well, and we have a big parent section as well as a good student section as Yosei misses the bucket.
Again, right there, Yosei. That was a great cut. Did everything but finish on the shot.
I think a key to our victory, a key to success for the Tigers tonight is Yosei in the paint on both sides of the ball.
And looking at that matchup right there, Takop and Epinesa, that's going to be a huge matchup here. Epinesa's going to have to stay out of foul trouble. Picked up his first one. Oh, that foul's actually been A.J. Tillman. Again, keeping Epinesa out of foul trouble so he can stay with Takop. Again, Takop averaging 14 and 7. Definitely a threat underneath the basket.
Yeah, Takop's a leading scorer for these Indians team, has made the most field goals of any team or of any player on this roster. Shoots just over 50% from the line, though. Makes his first.
And we have Just over 7 minutes to go here in this first quarter.
And he sinks his second. 2-0. Minute gone by.
And AJ Tillman rocking a new haircut tonight. Definitely love the dreads. Let's see if we can have a nice game here tonight.
Yosei can't post up. Way out to Allen. Allen, deep three. No good. Epinesa with the board. Skies a pass over to Tillman.
That was a great rebound right there by Epinesa. Just fought off to Kopp, boxed him out, and was able to secure the board for the Tigers.
And what about the confidence from Allen as to Kopp rejects the shot from Martin? The confidence from Allen to jack up that deep shot.
That was amazing block by Coates. Holy.
Allen drives in to Epinesa, feigns the shot. On the double clutch, makes it. 2-2 game, 6 to go.
That was a poetic move right there by Epinesa. Pump fake, get the defender to fly right by, and get the easy two.
And it's a finish by number 2, Corey Harris. Can't quite translate. Some acrobatics, athleticism in the paint, though. As Tillman holds his shot, makes it. 4-2 game for A.J. Tillman.
That's a veteran shot there right there by A.J. Tillman. Deep fadeaway two. It's a lost art here in high school and college basketball.
Tillman averages about 12 a game. That might be his 91st free throw or field goal of the season. Mid-range two is good.
Another mid-range. Both teams taking what they can get.
That's Jaden McCoo, the leading scorer for these Indians. Over to Tillman. Back out to Coates. Coates just lethal from range. From mid, shot's no good. Epinesa tips that out. A miracle of physics, that shot. And Tillman sinks that again. And Austin, I'm seeing absolute confidence from AJ early.
I'm telling you, he got the new haircut. He's feeling his game here tonight. And hopefully Allen can get started as well, and both of them will have a great night tonight.
McCoo slows things down. 6-4 lead for the Tigers. McCoo picks up his dribble. And it's rejected by Coates.
That's a second block for Coates. Another vicious block.
Adams' shot just did not have the height off the release, and Coates rejected that. Back to Adams, he passes it. Covered by Allen. Way over. That's Young. And now it's to Kopp, and he just bodies his way in there and tie it up.
That's an impressive move by Takop. Takop, a senior, definitely knows he's got the younger Epinesa on him, Epinesa only being a junior. Let's see if he tries to take advantage of that matchup.
Epinesa. Over to Allen. Allen resets. He's covered by McCoo. McCoo hounds him, and there's a whistle.
McCoo was playing a little up there on Allen. Allen lost the ball. Knew if he slowed down, he would have been able to draw the foul.
And so it's Butler that subs in for Coates.
Yeah, Butler and Allen in that Jerseyville tournament this last weekend earned all tournament honors. Again, both had impressive weekends. Tigers fell short to Granite City in that tournament. Again, came out with second place.
And Butler's a guy that makes 47% from three as Allen sinks that with absolute confidence. Allen himself shoots 40% from beyond the arc. So this is a three-point team. It's just fantastic from range.
Malik Allen starting to get hot, right? 3 points, Tillman with 4. Hopefully they can get a little competition going to see who can put as many points up on the board.
It's a steal by A.J. Tillman, lays in the 2. It's an 11-6 game, 3 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Just like a defensive back right there.
Yeah.
Read the pass like a book and was able to get the steal, lightning fast, and get the finish.
Allen is picked. Breaks run to Kopp. To Kopp, loses his dribble. It's Tillman who's just been a hound on defense.
But Tillman right now is starting to remind me of one of the women's basketball players, Sophie Shapiro. She had about 10 steals in the last game that the women had.
Yeah. And Epinesa lays in the 2 with a lot of grace, something that we've seen him progress on throughout this season. 13-6.
And Epinesa's had the advantage over Takop here early. We'll see if Takop can make any adjustments.
Speaking of Takop, I have noticed, looking at the stat sheet, he has shot 205 from 2 and no three-pointers. So a guy that's only useful in the paint, Miles Takop.
Takop's got 6 on the night.
Yeah, we need to find an answer quick.
Epinesa with 4. That matchup's going to be the matchup you're going to watch.
Yeah.
2 big guys going at it underneath the basket.
Well,
Battle of the Giants.
Usually we see the Tigers so well from deep and mid-range, but again, we are going to have to play a paint-focused game tonight. As Allen, another 3. This one's no good. Still 13-8, under 2 to go in this first quarter. It's Harris. Takes a mid shot, and it's no good. Rims out. And Coates will check back in, as will Chris Crosby. Crosby, we see a lot as a rotational 6th or 7th man.
Crosby's senior guard play on this Tigers team. He's all around a great player. He was a starter last year. Again, his role got filled. He got bumped down to a bench guy, but he's phenomenal off the bench.
So it's Crosby. Allen cut in, went to Tillman. Tillman tries to create. He has 3 men on him, and he travels. I think he's just trying to create too much. He sees that he's triple covered in the paint, and he realizes this is not a play that's designed.
Yeah, AJ Tillman, lightning fast. Stopped a little bit too quick there. Drug his foot, got called for the travel.
So I am looking right now, we have 34 viewers right now. That's a pretty good number, especially for a Tuesday night like this where we expect students to be pretty busy with other schoolwork and activities. So thank you all for tuning in, parents, students, faculty. And it's a cut from McCoo. Back door went unguarded, 13-10.
Impressive cut there. About a minute to go here in this first quarter.
So a loud Indian bench is really trying to shake and rattle this Tiger squad. Tillman off the pick. Back to Crosby. Crosby for 3. Rim out.
In and out there for Crosby. He had to Cobb all the way underneath the basket. Had a fairly wide open look. And that shot touched every single part of that rim.
So it's Gray. Back to McCoo. McCoo again, leading scorer. Tonight has 4. And the Indians are slowing things down and are absolutely frozen. This is something we've seen from the Tigers playbook, maybe to a greater extent when Edwardsville does it. But
well, and right now there's only 15 seconds on the clock, so I wouldn't get too worried. If the Tigers are doing that with about 5 minutes to go,
right,
you might want to start holding on to your hats.
McCoo swings to Gray. It's tipped. Allen, he's got a second. Does he know the clock? And he cannot get the shot off in time. It would have been a good dunk anyway. I don't think he knew how little time he had to get something up.
That or he just wanted to get the flashy dunk. Again, Tigers lead it by 3 in that first quarter. The one thing I do want to say, got to make sure you guys stay tuned for the halftime performance.
Right.
The Unified basketball team will be doing a little scrimmage here at halftime, and me, myself, and I will be participating in that game as well.
Can you go into what Unified Sports is?
Unified Sports is where the FLS kids, or the kids who are, challenged, right, can come together and enjoy a sport that everyone obviously loves in basketball. Right, it's a great experience. I've made a lot of great friends with the FLS students, and it should be a fun halftime. And one thing I will say as well is, I believe you have agreed to call.
So I will be announcing this game. I do have the roster. I'm going to do it to the best of my abilities. Obviously, it is a bit easier for me doing the varsity team because, I'm familiar with the players. This is going to be a bit untested waters, but I'm really excited to shine a light on this great program, and I think it's really great.
Yeah, and all these players, I love playing with them every day, and I feel like they do need the recognition that they deserve. They come out every single practice, and they do amazing jobs. And we will have that game running at halftime, and I thank you, Zach, and to all the Edwardsville Broadcasting crew for putting this all together just to put that out there for the Unified basketball team.
So it'll be the Tigers that will inbound it. Again, it was Malik Allen who ended the quarter with that slam dunk who just did not count. It's still a 13-10 game as we start. Butler. Over to Allen. Allen. And that's a charge. Yeah, he just gets too confident, a bit too physical there from the point.
Yeah, McCoo was standing right up in his face. It really could have gone either way. It seemed like Allen, if he wouldn't have went up with his elbows, he probably wouldn't have got called for the foul there.
It seemed like he was trying to get something there.
He was trying to clear some space out because McCoo was right on top of him, but he went up with the elbows, and that's easy call for the officials.
So it's McCoo and another whistle, and they're heading another way.
That's 2 quick fouls on Allen right there.
Yeah,
that's something you definitely don't want to see. We're going to see if some of these other Tigers players can step up in the absence of Allen.
Allen averages about 17 a game. So when he's not on the court, you see this team play a completely different style of basketball.
And I believe that was a travel. So it will be Tigers basketball. Martin, a great spark for this Tigers defense. And right there, forcing the travel.
Yeah, we usually see him so lethal in defense and transition. It's Crosby. Over to Tillman. He's double covered. Ball is tipped by McCoo, who's just been unstoppable this game. He takes it out. And he's double covered himself. And that dribble goes out of bounds.
And there's Martin again. Told you, he's a spark plug for this Tigers defense. Almost forced another turnover right there.
So we are seeing Eric Spa saying, go Tigers. Thank you, Eric.
Eric Spay.
Spay, I'm sorry. I'm going off of spelling. I'm not familiar with you, Eric.
Spay is a very close family friend of mine. Definitely love watching basketball with him. And excited he's able to tune in tonight for this basketball game.
So it's back to Tillman, to Crosby. Covered by DeCopp. And what do? Number 34, Miles DeCopp, is just unstoppable in the paint as Tillman fouls the shooting foul, and the Indians are ecstatic.
And now right there, that's your top 2 players, Allen and Tillman, with 2 fouls. I was actually interested to see the matchup between Crosby and DeCopp, but that got shut down real quick. Thinking Crosby might be a little bit quicker than DeCopp.
I think this is a solution or a problem that needs to be solved by Coach Battis, either in a timeout or in the locker room at halftime. DeCopp is just unstoppable.
And we're sitting at 6:45 to go here, tie ball game.
Yeah, I do not know if this is the start that Edwardsville wanted to have when they came in tonight. Mascoutah plays in a lower class than Edwardsville, and the Tigers had some really great wins against teams like Collinsville. So it's Martin who almost gets turned around on this pass. And it's Coates who spins in, but he can't do anything. There's a whistle.
That shot was going to be blocked into another dimension by DeCopp right there. It was great by Coates to drive in, get the foul. Now he's going to go to the line for 2. Now, you were talking about Collinsville. Again, Edwardsville beat Collinsville here 42-38. These Mascoutah Indians actually went to Collinsville, and they did not do as well as the Tigers. They had a 30-point loss at Collinsville. Against some other similar games, Tigers had an 18-point loss at O'Fallon. Again, Mascoutah only lost by 11 at O'Fallon. So, you know, it could go either way tonight from what I'm seeing. Both teams beat Jerseyville, and it could go either way. Both teams sitting at very similar records, 14-7, 14-8. Both looking for that 15th win in the win column.
So Coates made his first, and he'll make his second, make it 15-13. Coates is on the board now with 2 free throws. Coates usually averages about 82% from the line, so that's a pretty common outcome to see him make both shots. And it's DeCopp who just bullies his way into the paint. How do you solve that problem? It's 15-15, just under 6 to go in this second quarter.
And that right there is someone who's been playing since freshman year. You can tell. He knows what to do with the basketball underneath the basket and is not fazed by the bigger Epinesa.
And it's a steal by McCoo, and he makes it in transition. And the Indians have their first lead of the game, I believe, and this Mascoutah's team, who's traveled so well, his bench is just so lively, so energetic, is screaming. They're on their feet. They're excited.
And looking at that right there, Bryce Pryor hardly gets any minutes here.
Right.
The Mascoutah guys almost seem to get in his head there. Again, that's what's going to happen when you have your best players in foul trouble. You're going to have to go into your bench.
So Martin ties it up here, 17-17. Epinesa's just had to pass around to Kopp. Could not solve that problem.
And going into the bench is definitely going to be a factor for the Tigers. Usually they're a 7-8 man rotation. Bryce Pryor probably like the 9th guy off the, Pryor's the 8th guy off the bench. Tigers are a 7-man team.
Right.
So with Allen and Tillman in foul trouble.
It's Butler's shot who's no good. Harris's shot last transition was no good, but it's Jade McCoo who makes that in transition. 17-19, McCoo now has 8 points on the night. Now, I will say this is a two-headed scoring threat for Mascoutah. I think if the Tigers can manage to shut down one of these two options as Pryor shoots a deep three and he sinks it, that'll swing the momentum. It's a 2019 game.
That was a great play right there by Pryor. Pryor, 8th man off the bench, made a quick mistake with that turnover there, but then to come back and nail a three, that's impressive.
So again, I think the Tigers need to shut down one of these two scorers for Mascoutah.
Again, both of them sitting at 8 points. You were exactly as you were saying, two-headed threat. One of which being a big guy down inside and the other being a quick guard.
So it's Gray, back to Young. It's back to Gray, who dodged the pick. Drives in, the two. That's Corey Harris who gets it to go, 11 points. He averages, that's 5 points on the night for him.
We're sitting at 3:30 to go in this second quarter. Indians lead it by 1.
This is a back and forth game, and I don't think we're seeing the Tigers play to their full potential tonight. So it's back to Martin.
One thing I will say is I was never told by either coach we need to bring our track shoes for tonight.
Yeah.
This game is back and forth. Hardly any stoppages of play. A real quick game.
Martin's slow to get up. Miles Kopp is him, offering some sportsmanship, helping him pull Martin back up. So Martin's going to probably rest the rest of this half. And there's a timeout on the floor.
I like that by Kopp. That's good sportsmanship. Right. And we've seen, I've watched a lot of college basketball, you've watched a lot of college basketball, and even in the NBA, again, it's rare to find something like that. That's a good move by Kopp. He's got my respect for the rest of the night.
So 3 minutes to go in this second quarter. It's 21-20. Your leading scorers for the Tigers are Tillman and Allen. Also noted, Herbert Martin just went down hard, so we're going to be interested to see how that impacts the rest of this half and maybe even the rest of this game, depending on how he's feeling.
And from our point of view, it looks like he's talking to what seems to be maybe a trainer of some sort.
Right.
And trying to check out and see if he is all right.
I would say right now we have 44 viewers, so we're climbing as we go throughout the stream. So thank you again so much for tuning in. Students, parents, faculty, anybody that's eager to watch the Tigers on a Tuesday night like this, we thank you.
And looking at that bench right now, Allen's still sitting on the bench. He picked up about 2 fouls in about 10 seconds. And he's been sitting on the bench ever since.
So it's Tillman. Again, a Mascoutah team that just seems to have every vibe and energy going their way. As it's Butler, can't break the perimeter, goes into Epinesa, who's had trouble with the Kopp all night. Epinesa, back to Butler.
And one thing you could say, you could argue that this is their Collinsville game as the Edwardsville-Collinsville game was here.
Right.
I know Mascoutah doesn't really like Edwardsville too much, but definitely want to get a win.
Pryor sinks the deep three, makes it 23-21, a possession that did not seem to have anything going for it. Bryce Pryor sinks another deep three from beyond. It's just amazing watching a team that momentum just goes right back to their favor.
And Pryor is lethal from 3, and he has been his entire high school career.
So to Kopp, his shot gets blocked. He does not seem fazed by it. Gets his own board, puts it back with ease. 23-23, 2 minutes to go.
And Kopp has been getting the better of Epinesa underneath the basket.
It's over to Coates for 3. He was open, and he sinks it. 27-23, under 2 to go.
I believe that's the 4th 3 of the night for the Tigers. Again, Tigers have a 3-point lead, minute 50. Allen still on the bench. He's been out for about 5 minutes here.
Young tries to get to Kopp. He's not open. He gives it back to Corey Harris at the point. A minute 30 to go. And that handoff was botched. Harris drives in. It's over to number 12, Tyler Gray. It's rejected by Coates. Gray spins around, pivots, can't get the shot. Although the Indians get their board. Young for 3. No good. And it's Donovan Coates who gets the board. He's just been white hot these past couple minutes.
The Coates has been all over the court, had a block in that possession, able to come away with the rebound as well, and that deep 3 right before all that.
Tillman, a minute to go. Tigers slow things down, create the look they want. Back to Pryor. Over to Coates. To Epinesa. Epinesa not where we're used to seeing him. He's back at the perimeter. Can't break to Kopp. And Coates, white hot, but can't get that shot to go. Still 26-23, 45 to go.
It almost seemed Coates was a little too wide open there off that Epinesa screen. Had a little too much time. Not a lot of pressure.
It's McCoo at the logo. He's slowing things down here, trying to make sure the Indians have the last possession of the game. It's over to Harris. Into the Kopp. How did he get that? It's just a moss. But the Indians lose possession. Oh my goodness. What seemed to be a possession that the Indians were in complete control of goes awry so quickly, as I'm seeing Austin now, a little teaser to halftime, is now changing into his basketball gear. Again, we do have the Unified Sports game at halftime. But before then, we have to settle the dispute before the end of this half. 26-23, 20 seconds to go. The Tigers eager to go into the halftime with momentum. Tillman, he's taken all the time he has. 12 seconds now, he still hasn't dribbled. Moves Butler farther into the corner.
It's going to be interesting to see who takes this final shot.
It'll be Tillman. He shoots it. It's no good. It was just a bit too long on the iron. 26-23 to go to the half. Now, Austin, before you leave to go to the halftime performance, I want you to walk me through what you saw work well for the Tigers.
Well, the Tigers have came back with a couple deep 3s. That's definitely been their strength. And getting Allen back, that's going to be huge come here in the second half. Again, this is me signing off. I'm going to let you finish out the half and call the halftime.
Yes.
All right,
So,
see ya.
yeah. So again, we're very excited. This is the first halftime performance of FLS, the Unified Sports Program. So yeah, we're all good to... All right, so this scrimmage will see the orange team take on the white team. Team Orange has number 3, Olivia Wernax, number 11, Ben Waymeyer, number 34, Derek Wyatt, number 13, Ashlyn Porter, number 15, Augie Castelli, and number 12, Spencer Chicken Dance. Team White will have number 20, Emma Birkenmeyer, 25, Austin Yamnitz, as you guys know and love him, number 5, Kelly Flannery, number 14, Brady Buckley, number 4, AJ Brewster, number 2, Morgan Mersinger, and 21, Kellen McIntyre. So we'll see how well we can see numbers from up here. And they're going to tip at the logo. Team White player, I believe that's number 24. And it might be difficult to identify numbers from up here, but Austin Yamnitz, number 25, he takes it in. Over to number 2 on Team White, that's Morgan Mersinger. Back out to Kelly Flannery. Into number 14, I believe, Brady Buckley makes the shot. Or excuse me, number 24. Not quite sure if we have a name for that. So it's Ben Waymeyer. Over to Derek Wyatt. From range. Shots just short. It'll be white ball. Flannery. Into Yamnitz. Yamnitz will take it up. Yamnitz covered by Waymeyer. Yamnitz. It's in. To number 2, Morgan Mersinger. We saw him take that shot last possession. Shot's no good. He gets his own board, though. Goes again. Shot's just long. And it'll be orange ball. That's Ben Waymeyer who's going to take it up. Into number 15, Augie Castelli. Castelli from range. Shot's no good. And number 24 is driving the lane with the layup. It's good! He sinks it! And Flannery gives him a high five there. It'll be 13, Porter who inbounds it to Waymeyer. Waymeyer. Back to Porter. Bit of a flying change there as we see a white sub. It's number 15, Augie Castelli. From range, it's no good. Back to Castelli. Takes another. Shot's no good. Derek Wyatt has it, though. And it'll be a white ball. So Yamnitz takes it up. Covered by Waymeyer. Drives a bit. Into number 4. That's A.J. Brewster. Shot's long. Yamnitz. Back to Brewster. Brewster shot. Rims out. Almost had it there. And it's Derek Wyatt who's going to be taking it up. Wyatt passes over to Waymeyer. Waymeyer pass to Castelli. Castelli shot rims out, and Wyatt with the putback shot doesn't have it. And we're seeing a scrum for the ball there. A steal by Team White. As it's number 4, A.J. Brewster puts up a shot, can't get it. Yamnitz with the board. Back to Brewster, shot, can't quite get it. Back to Brewster, shot's no good. And I believe that's Buckley who sinks it. And Wyatt will be the inbound man. Waymeyer. He takes it up, looking for the open player. That's Castelli. It's back out to, I believe that's Wyatt. Buckley to Brewster. Shot's no good. Buckley in. Shot. Can't get it to go. It'll be orange team ball off the rebound. Number 13, Ashlyn Porter. Ashlyn Porter takes it up. Porter from range. Shot's no good. Had it on the rim. It's almost there. As it's Buckley to Yamnitz to Brewster from range. Shots can't quite go. And it'll be orange team ball. And Austin will be a flying change. That's Kelly Flannery, I think, who checks in for Austin. That's Porter, whose shot can't go. I believe that's Birkenmeyer who's taking it up. Birkenmeyer. Into Brewster. Excuse me, Mersinger. It's going to be number 34, Derek Wyatt, who's taking it up. Wyatt. Post up, spins. Into the paint. Shot. Can't quite get it to go. It'll be orange ball. Shot can't quite go. Waymeyer to the board. And it's Wyatt off the assist who makes it. This great ball movement there from Team White. As it's Flannery. Into Brewster. Brewster. Shot can't quite get it to go. Shot's no good. Put back, he gets it! So a back and forth matchup we're seeing, again, as we talked with the varsity team, maybe wearing track shoes is back and forth that has been offense and defense, and I'm seeing this, the exact same thing for this FLS matchup. So it's 15, Augie Castelli. Shot's no good. He's been shooting a lot from that range. I think he's made one or two. Into Brewster. Shot's long to Flannery. Back to Brewster. Brewster shot again. Can't quite get it to go. Holds it. Back to Brewster. Third time. Can't get it quite there. And it's number 2, Morgan Mersinger, who gets it to go, and he's ecstatic. He is rushing the court, and Team White, I believe, had the win there. Austin Yamnitz is giving them some love. A great buzzer beater there from Morgan Yamnitz, number 2. Team White, I believe they got the win there. Again, I wanted to thank everybody within the FLS and Key Club program who made this possible. It's really great that we're able to put this on as a school. Celebrate overcoming, and so really just a great program. And again, Austin, who just did so well in that game, creating open looks, will be joining us once this half resumes. So again, going back into this half, Tigers lead it 26-23. I apologize if you heard any disruptions there on the mic. We've had a bit of a rowdy crowd here. Again, leading scorers here are going to be Tillman and Allen. Allen was in foul trouble, though. We're eager to see how that plays into the rest of this game. So rather, it's Epinesa with 4 points, Tillman with 6. Again, a key to this game, this is a two-headed offensive squad for Mascoutah. We're really only seeing McCoo and Takop be any offensive threat here in this game. So I think that any success Edwardsville's going to have on defense is going to be stopping one of these two players. Takop and McCoo, I believe, both have 8 points on the night. Excuse me, Takop has 10. So 18 of the 23 points for the Indians have come from 2 players. That is a problem that Coach Battis needs to solve. Hopefully, they talked about it in halftime, made some adjustments. Maybe we'll see a timeout here called maybe halfway through this third quarter. So again, I do apologize if you hear any disruptions. We do have some younger fans right in front of our booth here, so they're going to be a little excited for this great night of basketball that we're able to experience. Right now we have 43 viewers. So I just wanted to thank each and every one of you for viewing. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that FLS halftime show. And again, I'm joined right now by Austin Yamnitz. He's come back from a great game. I think I talked, it was pretty even both sides. Like you said, track shoes for Varsity. I think there were track shoes probably in this game as well. It's offense and defense back and forth. Austin, what did you see there from the court?
Overall, it's just a great experience from both sides. Obviously, we want to try and get everyone a score there, but it was a great experience. Great to play in it. Great for the FLS kids. Great look for Edwardsville as a whole. And thank you guys so much for filming and commentating that as well.
Well, and Austin and any player that participated in that game, you should be able to watch the halftime performance, halftime game, the halftime scrimmage. We do upload all these videos as videos on demand, VODs, for you guys to be able to watch. As we are back to varsity basketball, it's number 2, Corey Harris. Over back to Adams. And McCoo, who we talked about, was just so lethal along with the cop in that first half. But it's Greg Adams on the backdoor cut. Makes it 26-25. Epinesa, who's had trouble all game getting past Miles to Cop in the paint. And the three's no good from Herbert Martin.
Now looking at that unified basketball game, I would say Brady, as I know him, for the white team is equal skilled to Cop. I mean, he was dominant underneath the basket, and Cop has been dominant here so far with 10.
So it's number 2, Corey Harris. There's a whistle on him, and they're heading the wrong way, as it seems, and it'll be Edwardsville basketball. So a minute gone. Only bucket has come from Greg Adams from Mascoutah. Made it 26-25 as it's Martin over to Epinesa.
Just under 7 minutes to go here in this third quarter. Tigers lead by 1.
Epinesa to Cop, left him open, and Epinesa takes absolute advantage of that, lays up the bank too.
And Cop just got over late. No other way of describing it. Cop got late, Epinesa had position, was able to finish underneath the hoop.
So Corey Harris over to Young, to McCoo, into Cop. Can't get past Epinesa. Epinesa's tightened up in this half. To Cop. Post, and he gets that one. He's just, when you have that size and that force, it's very difficult to stop him in the paint.
And the celebration by Cop telling Epinesa he is too small to guard him. That's the kind of shot you want Cop shooting, but he can make that all day, as he has shown.
Well, and it's not often we see the 6'5" Yosei Epinesa have trouble in the paint with size. As there's a whistle there, still 28-27, as Malik Allen will head to the line.
That looked to be a reach-in foul, as Allen came away with his own board. He got blocked. Again, if it wasn't a reach-in foul, he probably would have got the basket and the foul.
So Allen to Martin. Martin from the logo. What is he thinking? Goes for the ISO play, drives in. Goes way out, Coates, doesn't have a shot. Takes it back out. And again, this Tigers team, we see running the ISO a lot in third and fourth quarters. What are you seeing right now, Austin?
This seems to be a different kind of ISO play than we are normally used to seeing. Again, still does the same effect, gets people wide open shots.
Yosei Epinesa, who I thought had the dunk there, just gets rejected. The Cop has been unstoppable all night long.
Man, that was a vicious block by Cop. I am speechless. That Epinesa thought he had an easy drive to the lane. Cop came out of nowhere.
And what astounds me, no whistle. There's no fouls. That was a clean block.
When looking at Cop, you wouldn't expect it from him, but he's got insane athleticism for his size.
As there's a whistle, as it's Corey Harris who is double teamed. And I think that might be another foul on Malik Allen. Excuse me, that's Donovan Coates on the foul. It is first of the night.
It is very good that foul wasn't called on Allen.
Right.
Definitely don't want him to pick up his third foul with 5 minutes to go here.
Young to McCoo. Over to Harris, he was left open, but the Tigers quickly collapse on him as Coates drives, as there's a whistle. So it'll be Herbert Martin on the inbound.
Allen right now sitting at 3 points. Again, players that are his skill caliber will eventually hit their average. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him go on a little run, get up to about 16, 17 points on the night.
As there's a whistle, and Mascoutah seems very excited about it. Austin, walk me through what.
And that's another foul on Coates. Coates now has 2. Tillman and Allen also have 2. This game has been a really, really tightly officiated game, and both teams know that now. So we're gonna have to play off the ball. Tigers, I would say, look like a better shooting team, so they should fare out better down the stretch, as long as they don't foul.
Corey Harris, and it's intercepted by Martin into Coates. Euro lays in the beautiful 2:30-27.
That was an impressive move by Coates, but it was all set
And a
up.
home run pass to DeCopp. DeCopp puts it in, 30-29, and we might have a little bit of a back and forth run here, Austin.
Any single points that the Tigers can get up, the Indians come back with an answer. You know, it reminds me of the Iowa Hawkeyes. They don't let you celebrate any points on offense. As soon as you make a bucket, you better be ready to run the court and get back.
Austin, I will mention, for no reason at all, he is wearing an Iowa Hawkeyes sweatshirt. That's the 32-29 game. Shot is tipped by Tillman. DeCopp just bodies his way in for the board, and there's a whistle. How do you solve this problem? As I've been asking all game, and there has not been a good solution yet.
That is a fourth Tiger to pick up two fouls, sitting at 3:30 in this third quarter, and it was clearly a foul by Epinesa. He had his hand on his back. He could have gone straight up with his hands, but the way DeCopp's been playing, he probably would have made that basket either way.
Yeah. Now DeCopp is just over 50% from the line. This is the one area of weakness. He makes the first one though. Now, do we play some hack-a-shack here?
Could you, I've never heard that term before. Could you please define hack-a-shack?
Well, in my memory, hack-a-shack is when NBA teams, unable to stop the physical dominance of Shaquille O'Neal, would just send a player out who maybe was not known for getting a lot of minutes, just send Shaq to the line to end offensive possessions.
Now, what I will say, that does sound like a good idea, but DeCopp right now is 4 for 4 on the night from the free throw line. So sending him to the line could be dangerous if you are the Tigers. Definitely don't want to give him any free shots.
So it's a 32-31 game. Martin with the board, though, and he makes it 34-31. 3 minutes to go. I will say, Austin, the Tigers have 4 fouls so far in this quarter. When we say 5 and a quarter, that goes to the double bonus. As Mascoutah with velocity goes in, drives the lane, makes it 34-33, and we are seeing a back-and-forth slugfest.
The Mascoutah fan section getting into it.
Crosby for 3, 37-33, and there's a timeout on the floor. I believe that's Mascoutah with the whistle. And the Mascoutah head coach is not happy with the defensive breakdown that they have been suffering these past couple of minutes.
And Tigers lead it by 4, just under 3 minutes to go here in this third quarter. And one thing that you did say, Tigers have 4 fouls, so that means the next foul will put the Indians in the double bonus. That was just shooting 2 free throws. And that comes down to it. Tigers have had a lot of ticky-tack fouls here down the stretch, where it seems like it could have very easily not been a foul.
Right.
But then it was called. Again, the foul earlier was not called on Epinesa, so thankfully Epinesa is sitting at 1 foul. But Coates, Allen, and Tillman all sit at 2.
So the Tigers struggled a little bit offensively these first couple minutes of the quarter, but have now gone in a dominant run. I believe it's 10 or 11 points this quarter alone, and there's still 3 minutes to play in the third.
And one thing for the Tigers, Bryce Pryor coming back into the game. He had 2 deep threes there in that first half. We'll see if he can get back and get hot here in the second.
So it's McCoo over to the Cop. The Cop's far out. Young.
It's not where DeCopp really would like to receive the ball.
Again, he is 0 for 0 from beyond the arc, so he is a paint-focused player. That's Allen. Excuse me, Young. It's a Cop. He needs to find his way into the paint as there is a whistle. And that is on the Indians.
And here's what you're talking about, Zach. DeCopp's going to go to the line for 2 more free throws. He's already 4 for 4 on the night. Looking to pick up his 17th and 18th points. And one player this reminds me of from college basketball is Zach Edey. It seems like the Tigers don't really have an answer for him right now. They try to double team, but the Tigers have been getting called with a foul every single time they try to bring the double team.
So DeCopp misses his first shot from the line, now 4 for 5. DeCopp, I think, has just been absolutely dominant. He's a Rubik's Cube the Tigers have no success really solving as DeCopp goes again. 5 for 6 for Miles DeCopp. 37-34, 2.5 left in the third.
And that's one thing. You can tell that he's been looking at that free throw percentage, and he's been working on it in the gym every day. Coming out 5 for 6. This is a huge game for the Indians coming against the Tigers. Tigers beat number 3 Collinsville at home. They can dominate on this court.
Crosby drives in, can't get past the cop, and there's a travel. Austin, what do you do?
To cop's the threat. You gotta have shooters. The Tigers do have shooters on the court right now. You gotta go in and kick out. That's anyway simple. Drive the ball in. You're not gonna get an easy shot off with the cop underneath the basket. Well, then kick it out to one of your lethal three-point shooters.
And you know he's not going to be playing perimeter defense. So, and again, this is a team that, like you said, has great shooting from range. As Young loses his dribble to be Edwardsville basketball, the Tigers need to be making mid-range and deep shots like we did see them have some success earlier in this game. We cannot rely on this ISO offense that we so often run because we have what's basically a 6'8" behemoth in the paint that stops any advance we have.
Allen's sitting at 3 points. That's got to change for the Tigers.
Right.
Allen's got to get up to 16, 17 points on the night.
Allen heard you, takes the shot, can't get it to go. Well, again, and you know Miles is going to get every shot that doesn't get in. He's going to get every board. As McCoo, Butler dodges to Cop's pick. Cop slowly working his way in. McCoo covered by Butler. Butler cannot get the block as McCoo lays in the 2, 37-36, and we are seeing a back and forth game, at least in this half.
You see this a lot more in high school than you do in college, but it almost seems like Young is too scared to take a shot.
Right.
So I would love to see the Tigers.
And Crosby, the first shot that I think has really made it past Miles to Cop. You do see him slap that backboard, 39-36, 45 to go.
You'd love to see the Tigers make Jung shoot a couple contested shots at least. Obviously, McCoo and Takop are going to be your 2 scorers. Not much other scoring from anyone on the team.
So I just saw Takop throw 2 picks. Both of them were easily evaded. Just great awareness on defense from the Tigers as Pryor is giving some space. Young feigns the shot, drives in to Cop with the board. He puts it back and he gets it. 39-36, 12 to go. Pryor needs to hurry to Tillman.
8 seconds on the clock.
6, he drives in, shot, and there's a whistle, and that'll send Tillman to the line.
This is going to be a foul on the floor. I'm actually intrigued to see who's going to take this last shot.
You got to think it's Tillman right now. Allen, I think, is too far in the paint right now to get a play from him. I think Tillman's going to drop back out and get a long pass over to him. It isn't quite what happens. Tillman from deep 2, and he sinks it with confidence. A contested shot. He gets it over Harris there. Makes it 39-38.
That was an impressive call there, Zach. Yeah, it seemed like you had seen the play happening right before it was made.
41-38 after Tillman's shot, and we are going to see a little performance from the Edwardsville cheer squad. So a very high-scoring third quarter, Austin. What are you seeing?
Well, the Tigers are going to have to do everything they can to come out of here with a win. The Indian student section has definitely played a factor in this game. And the Indians have refused to go away. Any points the Tigers get on the board, they always seem to have an answer.
So again, Mascoutah, I think, has been more dominant, but really that's funneling the ball through one player. And I think, as we talked earlier, the Tigers are starting to rely less on lane drives and get more shots from the perimeter. Again, we did see Crosby drive it in with success the second time he went. But to Cop, who now has 19 points on the night, Austin, that is half of the Mascoutah's Indians' total scoring output. Edwardsville just needs to fix this problem.
Well, you want to know, the other half right now has come from McCoo. Combination of McCoo and Harris have put up almost every single point for the Indians.
So it's Tillman. Tries to create, over to Allen. Allen for three. Shots long, and he has not had it tonight. Tillman, over to Martin. Tillman back at the logo to reset. Maybe trying to set up that ISO play that we see this Tigers squad run so often. Swings it to Allen. Epinesa. Martin. Allen drives in, back to Martin. Martin can't quite break the defense. Feigns the shot. Epinesa tries to, I think that would have been a dunk if that went. Does not go. 30 seconds have gone by in this fourth quarter. That Tigers possession fruitless.
With the cop underneath the basket, the Tigers have had to veer away from their traditional isolation offense. Usually with that lane being open from a not so experienced bigger defender underneath the basket, the Tigers have had to veer away from that to try and get some more open shots. They can't drive in the lane like they have been able to.
Epinesa
with 5 blocks on the night.
Epinesa misses the first shot. Epinesa shoots 29% from free throw. Not a situation we see him in often, and when he does, he has some troubles, but he does get the second one to go. 42-38.
Looking at the scoreboard right now, seems that the Indians' scoring consists of Harris, McCoo, and DeCop. That's it. Nobody else has really got any scoring here for the Indians.
And DeCop has not been subbed out all night. We do wonder maybe if stamina will be taking its toll as we delve deeper into this fourth quarter.
Oh my gosh. Look who just walked in the building. Illinois football coach Brett Bielema is in the house right now talking with Epinesa.
Well, and I don't want to analyze too deeply, but I can think of one player who they're going to want to talk to specifically. That was a really great pick by you. I wouldn't even notice that. I would have just thought that's, another parent, but that is fantastic to see a head coach of a Big Ten program who's. Also, I'm seeing you're speechless here, but again, there is a varsity game that is going on, maybe in the background now. 6:30 to go in this fourth quarter, 42-38. Austin, are you going to try to maybe get a word in edgewise with that coach?
Well, I'm definitely going to ask him a couple questions, right? I'm a big Iowa fan, but I know Brett Bielema has great ties to the city of Iowa. Man, Big Ten coach. That
wow.
is Power 5 football head coach. Illinois has had some success in their football journeys. I am in shock and awe right now.
And maybe we're going to see Epinesa handle the ball a little bit more as he seems boosted by the presence of the coach, and he lays in the two and makes it 44-38. So again, maybe, not scouting for basketball, obviously, but definitely scouting for physical prowess and dominance, total athleticism. And Epinesa might have that spurring him to maybe play even harder on defense as there's a whistle. Sorry, we don't want to focus completely on the audience here, but that is a very surprising turn of events. We do seem to attract a bit of a celebrity crowd. We do see NFL player A.J. Epinesa at some of these games, and now Brett Bielema, his name is?
Brett Bielema, Illinois football head coach. I'm in shock and awe. I've seen him on the TV. I just can't believe it. I've watched so much football in this past off season.
Now, Austin, it could be said that you've been on TV with warning announcements.
Definitely not as impressive as being a Big Ten head coach.
Tillman gets the steal. Yeah, Illinois was ranked last season, and the season before that, I remember. Martin into Epinesa. Epinesa looking to create. Posts up against the bigger. The cop can't get it to go. Fights for the board, though. McCoo. Again, we see him move so quickly when driving the lane. Has to pass back out, though, in that case. And it's tipped by Martin, that is. Number 4, McCoo. Shot is good! 44-41. It's a 3-point game for Mascoutah. 5 minutes to go, a back-and-forth affair. It has been close all night as we go into the final 5.
All right, I need to lock back in here for the rest of this game. I am still in shock and amazement that a Power 5 football coach has walked into the Luco Jackson Gymnasium, obviously trying to get a word with the one and only Jose Epinesa.
Now, do you think they took the team bus?
Not quite sure they would have taken the team bus down from Mascoutah to come watch this game, but definitely from where are they? Champaign?
Champaign, Urbana,
Champaign,
yeah. Urbana, Champaign.
We got 5 minutes to go here. Tigers lead it by 3. Tigers with 1 foul, Indians with 2.
Yeah, we have seen Edwardsville clean up their act discipline-wise, especially with fouls. We saw them go into the double bonus, gave Mascoutah some free throws there. And Austin's handed me a list of terminology for me to work in.
Now, one thing I will say, like, for myself, I've definitely done a lot of research. One of my favorite broadcasters to watch is Carlo Jimenez. I don't know if you've heard him, a little bit of an Instagram sensation, radio announcer for the Clippers. And one thing, I've definitely tried to work in a lot of his work into my calls as well. And again, public information here.
We'll see if any of these are applicable. I'm excited. 3-point call, Yahtzee, I can say. Or maybe rips the cords. We'll see how that goes. As it'll be Martin on the inbound. And that was just a miscommunication there for Tillman. He does recover as the clock is just draining away. Tigers probably looking to slow it down as they hold a 1-possession lead. But they still need to score. Coates.
4:40 in this fourth quarter. Tigers up 3. Looks like we've jumped up to 56 viewers now. Again, starting at 34, that's a huge jump in viewership.
Crosby reverse layup and the and one off the window and in. It rattles in. It's recycling underneath after multiple boards. Yes, sir. In the words of Jimenez, the Clippers radio broadcaster. I figured I'd just use them all at once.
Yeah. He has a lot of great calls, and I feel if we're able to mix even half of them, or even a third of them into the broadcast, it could definitely spice up things a lot.
So Crosby misses the free throw, 46-41, 4:30 to go in the fourth. McCoo will take it up. McCoo. Covered by Coates. Tokep with the pick. McCoo's shot's no good. Tillman full head of steam. To Coates, 3. Shots just short, can't get it to go. McCoo will take it. Drives in the lane. Shot's no good. It's Tillman with the board.
Looking where we are right now, you can see the tide kind of turn. Tigers getting hyped, being back in this game. Up 5 now, 3:45 on the clock. It almost seems like the Indians are just a little bit tired out there on the court.
Yeah, and I think this is a thing we see with maybe when underdogs are playing very close to favorite teams, is that those underdogs run out of stamina quickly. Allen, the shot, no good. Couldn't quite get the jump there. McCoo, again, full head of steam, not momentum. He gets the and one. Yes, sir. McCoo has just had so many of these fast break, fast lane drives that have had a lot of success. McCoo will head to the line. 17 points on the night.
That was a very impressive take by McCoo.
McCoo makes it a 2-point game. 46-44, 3:30 to go.
McCoo and Takop right now sitting at 19 and 18 respectively. And then Harris with 5. That rounds out the Indians scoring. Nobody else for the Indians has gotten involved here. It's pretty much been a 3-headed monster against the Tigers. Tigers got 3:30 to go here in this fourth quarter. Tigers up 2.
A little cheer routine here. I'm going to call this one the backflip circle. Could you do one of those, Austin?
Definitely not right now. Maybe a little bit of practice, but definitely not right now.
So going in to this final 3:30, we are going to see Allen and Tillman stay on the court. Again, usually our leading scorers here. Allen averages 17, Tillman averages 12. It'll be interesting to see if they can really turn it on in money time. Something to note here, Mascoutah already has 3 fouls compared to Edwardsville's 2. Again, bonus, the double bonus comes into effect at 5 fouls. Epinesa will inbound.
One thing to take note of here is the Indians do have the possession arrow coming down the stretch, so that might be important, especially in such a tight game.
Allen sprints down the court, does not get the home run pass, instead it goes to Tillman. 2-point game, let's go either way.
Tigers are going to try to let every second drip off this clock. Again, they have a 1-possession lead, but even then it's still a lead.
Yeah, we did see that icebox maneuver against Collinsville where they just slow things down. And now it's Martin from the wing, drives in, Epinesa to Coates. Coates backs off. Malik Allen is all by himself there in the corner. It's Herbert Martin swings over to the point to Coates.
It seems that Allen knows that they're going to try and keep the ball out of his hands. Even though he only has 3 points on the night, they know how deadly he can be from the perimeter.
A minute drive by, but Young with the steal, he puts up the 2. As there is a shooting foul, that'll send him to the line for 2 with an opportunity to tie.
Jung with no points on the night.
So the Mascoutah head coach, who looks almost like a great value Coach Battis, is equally upset at that turn of events, letting Edwardsville drain the clock like that. But Young misses that first shot, loses the opportunity to tie. He'll have another go, though.
And looking down at the head coaches, it almost looks like a mirror image from up here. It would be interesting to see if Coach Schumacher and Battis have any sort of connections.
So we have 60 viewers right now, which is the stream high. As the 46-45 game, the viewers at home know this is the witching hour. This is when victories are at their best, as Epinesa will inbound. To Cop. Martin, ball is forced and there's a whistle.
Looking back at the last 2 home games for the Tigers, they had a 2-point win against Belleville West, and obviously we all know about that Collinsville game.
Right.
So some really, really tight games here down the stretch.
Epinesa to Martin, and DeCopp goes down. He gets back up though, he's fine. Martin loses the dribble, and the Tigers will keep possession, I think.
And Martin loses the shoe while he's at it.
That's insult to injury there, loses the dribble and the shoe. What do you think's more important for basketball?
Definitely the basketball in that situation. But the Tigers do retain possession. Looks like Young poked that ball away.
So a 1-point game, 2:22 to go, as they're giving Martin some grace to get his left shoe, that is, back on.
The Tigers are in the double bonus now, so they will be shooting free throws through the rest of the night. Right. Tigers have 3 fouls, so 2 more fouls will send the Indians to the line. With 2:20 to go here, you would think that the free throw line will come into effect in these last seconds.
It'll be Pryor on the inbound. Martin breaks. Another ISO play. Swings it to Pryor. Pryor out to Tillman. Tillman takes it back out. They're going to let this clock go as much as they can. McCoo is covering Tillman. Tillman speeds right by him, and he gets the shot over to Kopp, but does not get it to the iron. So now, under 2 minutes to go, and it looks like Mascoutah's almost in the driver's seat here. As DeCopp gets his dribble, forces around Epinesa, can't get it to go though. And it's Tillman, who again falls down. We have seen players falling left and right. Epinesa, the home run pass, is intercepted though by Mascoutah, and there's a whistle to finally catch our breath here, and that'll send Mascoutah to the line.
That right there was some sloppy basketball from both sides of the ball. The ball was being thrown all over the place. Tigers had a steal. Indians had a steal. Back and forth. Ended up, and then the Tigers came away with a foul out of that. Now both teams sitting in the double bonus.
Ooh.
Indians retain the possession arrow, one thing they have not lost here in this fourth quarter. And one thing I will note on that on their offense, the Tigers' offense, they seem to be keeping the two best defenders out of it. Takop and Harris, arguably the two best defenders for this Indians team, are out of it, trying to guard Epinesa and Allen, who are kind of hiding in the corner.
Again, it's Harris. Misses his first one. 46-45, 93 seconds to go once play resumes. Harris only 5 points on the night, looking for his 6th. Will he get it here? Shot does not fall. Takop with the board. That's number 12, Tyler Gray. Back to McCoo. McCoo, covered by Pryor. Takop, have to stop him here. He shoots it. No good. That was not the shot you want your best player to take in this scenario. A.J. Tillman, as Battis is upset, it'll be a whistle.
It's going to be a timeout by the Tigers. One thing I will note here, it seems that Illinois head coach Brett Bielema is watching this game like a hawk. Even though this isn't Epinesa's main sport, definitely looking for his physicality.
So I will say Scott Smith says thank you very much, Editorial Broadcasting. He has suggested that we update the time more often. That'll be me and Austin making sure you guys are updated right now. There's a minute 14 to go.
That is an important thing to point out. From the view you guys have at home, you cannot see the time.
Clock, right.
So we will, for this last minute and 15, give you the best view of our clock.
Well, and we do apologize, Scott. I haven't looked at the comment section in a bit, so I don't know how long ago you commented. Again, we are in a bit of a delay here, so you're seeing probably 3 minutes ago from live. But again, 74 seconds, 1 point game. Edwardsville does have the lead here. It's all going to come down to this. Austin, who do you think is going to make the game-winning play here?
For the Tigers, it's kind of been all over the place. Tillman has had some veteran shots here, but then again, Allen, he's your guy. He's the guy you go to when you're in situations like this. Yeah, he hasn't had a great night, but let the shooter shoot. Let's hope he can shine here in this last 74 seconds.
So it'll be Epinesa on the inbound. Again, when we saw a similar play earlier, Malik Allen took screaming up the court. We're going to see if he moves again. And he tries to make his way up again. It's Tillman, who is full court press. Pryor, Epinesa, a minute to go. Epinesa drives. And it's a physical play. And Tiger fans are pointing for Tiger ball. Mascoutah fans are pointing for Mascoutah ball. It'll be Tiger basketball off of the out of bounds play.
That could have been either way, and thank the good Lord that there is no replay. The officials were generous enough to give the Tigers the basketball.
And Mascoutah is irate here. I don't know what they call their fan section here, but they are upset, and they are booing their refs. They are ignoring the bright yellow sign that says respect to the referee that we are so proud of. 46-45, 60 seconds to go. Coates, he's double covered. Over to Pryor, to Tillman at the logo. Coates, he's double covered again. Tillman, back to Coates. They're taking their time. Pryor, still lead by less than a shot though. Tigers need to capitalize on this possession.
This is the foul game right now. 47 seconds on the clock, sending the Tigers to the line. Martin's got to take care of the ball on the free throw line, and the Tigers are going to have to keep doing that for the rest of this game. If the Tigers don't take care of the ball on the free throw line, the Indians can go down and tie it and potentially take the lead.
So it's Coates and Tillman on the backcourt. And a very loud Indian squad. The lights are brightest now for Herb Martin to make it a 2-point game. Without. And he has to sink the next one, folks, to make sure Mascoutah can't walk it off with a 2. Herb Martin, you're hoping the junior, has ice in his veins. Martin shoots 72% from the line. Will he get it here? Odds say he will. But again, this is the highest point of this game. Martin It is. No good. Mascoutah gets the board to Maku. Up to number 2, Corey Harris.
If the Tigers are to get a rebound here, I'd love to see them to get the ball to Allen. Give it to your senior.
Right.
Let him make that basket.
Herb Martin is hounding Harris, making sure he's not going to look. The cop is too far out to do anything. Mascoutah scores 30 seconds to go, though. Takes the lead 47-46, and we are seeing it lively. Pass, poked is long, and it'll be Mascoutah basketball. 22 seconds on the clock. 47-46 Indian lead.
Mascoutah fans jumping up and down, seeming that they have this game won. It is far from over. 22 seconds on the clock. Tigers down 1. Tigers very loosey-goosey with the ball there. Just threw it away. Didn't have to make that pass, but they ended up making it. The Indians have the ball.
Here's what I think Coach Babb is telling his team. He's saying, all right, Tillman, you can't foul here, but we know that the Mascoutah Indians are in the double bonus. If we foul them, they go straight to the line. That gives us an opportunity to get the ball back. We're looking for anyone but Tillman to foul here. Preferably someone like Epinesa, who's only got 1 foul in the game. He's got 4 to give.
Well, not so much looking on who can foul, but looking more to who do you foul.
Right.
Now, obviously, you're probably not going to foul Maku because he's a guard and he can make his free throws. Looking at this free throw percentage, arguably the worst free throw shooter on the team is Takab.
But he's been lethal tonight. I think he's been 5 for 6.
Now, Jung has not had a great game. I saw him miss 2 free throws down there. It seems like if he touches the ball, you've got to instantly foul him.
See, who will be the inbound man here? It looks like it'll be Young. A little bit of a Hail Mary, a 4 verticals play here. And it's tipped. Going out of bounds. It'll be Edwardsville. No! Mascoutah has the possession arrow. That ball stayed in bounds miraculously. 17 seconds on the clock. 47-46 game. And let's all catch our breaths here, folks, as we are going to see Mascoutah basketball off the arrow.
Great defense by the Tigers there. And no other way to put it. They almost forced a turnover, got the possession arrow back. The possession arrow will swing back to the Tigers now. If they can do that same thing and get the tie up, the Tigers will get the ball back.
And right now, Tigers only down a point. A point or a shot from the field will take the lead. Right now we have 70 viewers, Austin. They know the lights are brightest right now.
Looking at knowing a lot of my college basketball knowledge, obviously you want to foul, but where I'm looking at is you want to try and get a steal first.
Right.
And if you could potentially get a 10-second violation, that would be huge. You get the ball back with 7 seconds left. I'd say as soon as they get the ball across half court, you're going in a foul. You want to give yourself as much time to get off a quality look, especially with the chance to maybe be down 3 where you'd have to tie it with a 3-pointer.
Again, I can't believe that ball stayed in bounds on the right sideline. Just seemed like it was a miraculous play. But again, sports are all about miracles. It'll be Adams on the inbound. The play looked designed for Maku. Instead goes to Young. And there's a foul on Young. Again, Young, that was the guy we wanted Edwardsville to foul. Young, 52% from the line, and he has plenty of volume from the charity line.
He's sitting at 0-2 tonight. I know that stat. They're in the double bonus, which means he will get 2 shots. All he's got to do is miss 1, and the Tigers can tie it with a 2 and win it with a 3.
So we have 73 people with us. 16 seconds on the clock, only bled 1.2 seconds there. Young, the first one. Spirit fingers from the Indians, sinks it. So now the Tigers need a 2 to tie, a 3 to win. But Young will have another opportunity again from the charity strip.
Tigers have 3 timeouts now. I'm assuming if they get a rebound, they're going to call a timeout, draw up that play.
They have the scorers on the floor.
If Young misses, that gives the Tigers a chance to tie it with a 2.
He does miss it. And Pryor gets the board. They're not calling a timeout. 12 seconds to go. Tillman will be the ball man here. 8 to go. Tillman, they are not calling a timeout. He drives, spin, puts it in. It's good. He ties it. 3 seconds to go. 48. A.J. Tillman. Austin, they did not call a timeout. The play still works how they wanted it to. Tillman ties it. Ice in his veins. He's just like that, Austin.
That is a coach trusting his player, his senior. AJ Tillman been on this team through thick and thin. That is a head coach trusting your senior leader to make a play. AJ Tillman spun off his defender, got the floater. Again, I've seen him make that shot 1,000 times, and he knocks it down to give the Tigers the tie. Again, 3.2 seconds on the clock. Indians drawing up their play.
And Mascoutah does not have a timeout, so they are stuck with the inbound from the baseline. They can't get a reset and inbound from the sideline.
Very interesting note, Zach. Yes, the Indians don't have a timeout. So that means that the Tigers could potentially force a turnover. They could get the ball back, and if they're able to call a timeout, they could have 1 second on the clock maybe with a shot. And the ball can't touch the court now with 3 seconds on the clock. You would think they're going to try and pass and try to get an open
You're not
look.
dribbling here. Maku, curiously, inbound, man. You got to think he's passing. Why is Maku inbounding? He's their best shooter. They're not going to get to Cop in the paint.
I wouldn't be surprised if you see Maku pass it out and run all the way down to a spot.
In 3 seconds, that's going to be close. Maku to Young. Swings it to Maku, just like you said, Austin. Half-court shot! Can't get it to go. Oh, my goodness. I thought that had a chance, folks. And, Austin, we're going to call at least my first overtime game in what was a back and forth. Was it a good fourth quarter? Was it a bad fourth quarter? What was it?
It was all over the place. Tigers had a 5-point lead, let the lead slip back down. We're down at 1 point, but with an impressive 2 by AJ Tillman, we're able to tie it up. And this is my first overtime game as well. Looks to be that there will be 4 minutes on the clock in this overtime period. Both teams in the double bonus. Again, each team awarded a timeout. That means the Tigers have 3 timeouts and the Indians have 1.
And fouls do not reset, so Tillman has to be very cautious on defense. He's our best scorer, and we cannot see him go.
Illinois football coach Brett Bielema tuned in for a very exciting game.
And Austin, 81 viewers. We have seen to just climb throughout this entire game. I'm seeing exponential growth now that we have played one of the most exhilarating final 5 minutes of basketball I've really seen out of this high school team, girls and boys varsity. So right now, scores reset, 0-0, 4 minutes to go. Who is going to be the Tigers' key here?
Senior guard play. That's what I gotta say.
Okay.
And that's gonna come from AJ Tillman and Malik Allen. Allen sitting at 3 points. Not a lot of points, but he is still the guy. He's the guy you want. So
we are going to see our first jump ball since the game started. It's to Cop on Epinesa. And Epinesa, a good showing for Brad Bielema. And you got to think Edwardsville is going to take as much time off the clock as they possibly can. Tillman to Epinesa. Brutes his way in. Shot's good. He beats Kotep for probably one of the first times this game. He knows who is here watching him. He knows what the stakes are. A 2-0 lead for Edwardsville in overtime. Coates can't tip it there. Maku, mid-range 2. He can't get it to go. Epinesa gets the board. He bodies his way in. Epinesa taking over offense and defense to start. 3:20 to go in this overtime period. 40 seconds have gone by. Coates has it. And now Edwardsville has no reason to play faster. They're going to play as slow as they possibly can, as they do have the 2-point lead here. And Austin, I've seen you pull out a good luck totem.
Yeah. Well, Brett Bielema is here. He has great ties to the University of Iowa. He played at the University of Iowa. We were all pushing for him to come back. And so I have an Iowa patch right here. I'm going to see if I can get him to sign it here at the end of this game.
Coates to Tillman. Tillman out to Pryor. Pryor, we've seen 2 threes from him tonight. 2 deep threes, we should say. Again, a slow possession and a turnover, a very bad turnover, unclutched turnover.
We got 2.5 minutes now. Tigers to lead it by 2.
Harris to Kotep. Shot's no good. That'll send him to the line. Any way you can neutralize the Cop is what you need to do. And in this case, send him to the line. That's the lesser of 2 evils in my eyes.
They got the foul on Pryor. Scared me there for a second. Thought that foul could have been on Tillman. That would be his 5th. He sits right now at 4. Allen and Coates sit at 3. Definitely don't want Tillman to be one to foul.
Wow, and the band kids, I'm going to credit with an assist on that one. I'm hearing a lot of screaming from the Peck band. I'm very impressed with their vocal defense there.
That is something you see in college basketball a lot, the band getting involved.
Right.
Love to see it here in high school.
Here, let's watch it again. A bit more loud this time. Let's see if the band can work their way in. They do! And it doesn't phase Miles Dakota the second time. Epinesa, though, with the inbound. Big pass to Coates. And it's going to be a whistle. So Edwardsville calls the timeout until a 2-1 lead in this overtime period. The current score is 50-49, 2:22, all 2s on the board. You do wonder, Austin, how many more possessions will each team have?
Well, if the Tigers have the ball, the Indians are going to have to play amazing defense and hope to get a turnover. I don't see the Tigers taking a shot unless they have the perfect opportunity.
But you do wonder, we're a free throw away from a tie game. A 2 from Mascoutah will take the lead. You do think Edwardsville has to be thinking about that. They need a bucket to make this game safe. So we are seeing a 100 emoji from the chat. Also, Daniel says, "Go Tigers."
We're sitting at 88 viewers now. That viewership has rose and rose and rose.
This is the highest I think I've ever seen it, and we've done Friday night broadcasts. I can't speak on the Collinsville stream. I'm sure that was a packed house online.
I believe it got up to 100, so if you are watching right now, post all about it. Try to get as many people in here. We'll see if we can beat that game.
Again, I am Zach Kennett. You're Austin Yamnitz. We're just so excited that we can do this all for you. Share this as much as you can on Facebook, social medias. We're up to 90 now in overtime, 90 viewers. Still 50-49, 2-1 in this overtime period. Epinesa will inbound again off of the Tiger timeout. Tennyson from home, our producer, has a flame emoji and a race car emoji. Thank you. Tillman, double teams. He's in trouble. And Austin, maybe you can walk me through that.
Tillman was trapped on the baseline. That was a smart play by Coach Battis. Able to call a timeout.
So we had a question, who are the leading scorers right now? Epinesa has 11, Tillman has 10, and it's Pryor with 6 as well as Martin with 6. Again, Malik Allen, we've only seen one basket from him all game. That is not what you want to see from him. Allen averages almost 17 a game. So you do wonder, is there something going on, or is he just not feeling it tonight?
He could just not be feeling it tonight. It is an off night, but as I like to say, let shooters shoot. If you can get the ball in his hands down the stretch, more times than not, he's going to make that shot.
So 2:19 to go, 50-49.
An interesting note as well is that Allen, I would say that Harris has to be the Indians' best defender, guarding Allen. He hasn't let Allen hardly ever touch the ball. But then you see Allen hiding in the corner and basically making Harris's defense irrelevant.
Right. 2:19 to go. Pryor will inbound. What will the play be? We usually see off these kind of inbounds a straight line play. Instead, it'll be on the baseline to Coates. Back to Pryor. Martin loses out of bounds. It's Mascoutah. Indian ball there. 2:15 to go. A costly turnover by Herbert Martin there. Exactly the opposite of what you want to see in a scenario like this. Mascoutah has a chance to take the lead here off of a made 2 or 3.
Sitting at 2:15 now in this overtime period.
So Gray inbounded. Harris will be taking it up. Harris to McCoo. Does not shoot the 3. Epinesa bats the pass away from Dakota. It's now Tillman's ball. To Martin, back to Tillman. Minute 50 to go. Edwardsville 1-point lead here in this overtime frame. Into Allen. Over to Martin. Martin double team. We've seen a lot of double team out on the perimeter. Epinesa way over to Tillman. He has to hurry before he meets defenders. And Young on Martin as we see a whistle.
And looks like we're going to be playing the foul game just like we were in that fourth quarter. But I just want to point out that defensive stop by Epinesa forced a tip away and now gave the Tigers the ball back. And Martin is going to be going to the line with about a minute 40 on the clock.
I will say a commenter pointed out that last year Evansville beat Mascoutah 50-48, a game similar to this. Went down to the final possession.
And knowing that, seems like Mascoutah's got they got some bad blood with Edwardsville wanting to get a win.
As Martin needs to make this free throw to make it safe possession lead. And he gets it to go with a 2-point lead for Edwardsville, 51-49, a minute 40 on the clock. And you got to think Mascoutah is trying to score quickly and confidently.
The two leading scorers, Tapak and McCoo, are definitely going to be the ones to get the ball here.
Young couldn't get the handoff off. Allen was playing too tight. And this is a loud Orange Rush section. And it's rejected. Epinesa says no, sir. And he rejects the layup right into the face of Illinois head coach Brad Belima, as it's Donovan Coates who loses a shoe. What a defensive effort. Yosef, I don't know if he knows that Coach Belima is here, but he has turned it on this second half.
Epinesa has had the last two defensive stops for the Tigers.
And isn't it poetic? We see DeKalb dominant all game, offense and defense. Yosei struggling against him, and finally, Yosei finally gets one over to Kopp. As Martin can't get it to go. He's struggling. Martin, 72% from the line. We've seen him at the charity strip a lot. 51-49, trying to make it a 3-point game.
Sitting at 1:12 on the clock. Definitely wouldn't want this game to go into double overtime. Definitely want a Tigers win here.
94 viewers for us. Martin misses it. McCoo with the board. And if you're Mascoutah, are you thinking 2 or are you thinking 3?
Whatever shot comes up, whatever you get an easier look on, that's what you're going for.
McCoo tries to get through to Young. Young feigns the shot, drives in, backs back out, back to McCoo. Off the pick, shot, no good. Coates fights for the board, and there's a whistle, jump ball. But Mascoutah has the possession arrow. So 47 seconds to go. Edwardsville is holding on for dear life with their 2-point lead. Young will be the inbound man.
That possession arrow coming off the tip.
Adams,
Team is at it.
They left him open, but Coates says no, sir. He rejects that. And Mascoutah will try again, 44.8 on the clock. I might be losing my voice here, Austin.
That was an amazing play by Coates. Coates came out of nowhere.
They left Adams just the right amount of open to reject that. Young will try to inbound again, this time to McCoo. McCoo, wide open 3. Rims out to Kopp, fight to the board. It'll be Edwardsville basketball. And you got to think Mascoutah's trying to foul here. But you got to be dangerous. You got to choose the right man to foul, because if the Tigers sinks both of them, that means a 4-point lead. And I don't know if Mascoutah can do that with 38 seconds to go.
Mascoutah looking for a steal here. And if they can't get a steal, I would be assuming that they're going to take a foul.
Tillman, foul was not called on them. Now it is. 35 seconds to go.
I see the viewership keep going up. We're at
Yes.
94. We need 6
Yes.
more people to hop in this broadcast to crack the 100 mark.
It is interesting. I'm seeing, again, I can see exactly where the second half was and how exponentially that growth is. As it'll be Tillman from the line. Tillman shoots 87.7%, 50 for 57. He's just got to make 2, really. He's got to make both of them, but 1 would be good enough. Has to make 1, though. Spirit fingers from the Orange Rush section. Sinks it! 3-point lead for Edwardsville.
It was surprisingly quiet from the Mascoutah section. Seems like all their energy has been deflated after that last stop.
And if he makes this, Austin, this will make it so much harder for Mascoutah to come back in this overtime period. Tillman. Again, 87%. Will he go again? Gets it to go, 4-point lead. Tigers lead 53-49, 30 seconds to go.
I said it in the Collinsville game, I'll say it again. I've seen him make that shot 1,000 times. Had no doubt in my mind those two were going in.
Harris, covered by Martin. There's a timeout on the floor. And the fans, the players, me, you, Austin, we get to catch our breath. 18.8 seconds to go. A 4-point lead for Edwardsville. Tillman, ice in his veins, makes both from the free throw line. And that might just give them the lead they need. What does Mascoutah have to do to have any chance?
They got to get a quick three. You don't have time to mess around and try and get a two. You got to go for the quick three, and if it doesn't fall, you're almost counting down the seconds until you lose this ball game. But if they do get a three on that end, then you got to assume they're going to try and get a stop and a foul. And then the Tigers head back to the line to shoot some more free throws, and then we'll take it out from there.
So Young will inbound it from the scorer's table. And is it just me, Austin, or is this band playing louder than I think they normally do?
Everybody in here knows how important this game is. This game's in overtime. Can't forget about that. Right now, 53-49, 20 seconds on the clock. This game has been back and forth all day. Tigers' largest lead was about 5 at one point. Mascoutah's largest was about 3.
Yeah, just a slugfest, offense, defense, all night. I will say, DeKalb has had no effect in this game. McCoo, deep three. He gets it to go. Oh, my goodness. Bleeding clock, though. Mascoutah has to foul, as there seems to be a violation here. It's a 1-point game. 10 seconds on the clock, Austin. You can't write this up.
And looking at who they fouled, Herbert Martin is 1 for 4 right now from the free throw line.
They chose the right man, I think, if they want to have a chance. They're only sending 2 rebound men. Everybody else for Edwardsville and Mascoutah will be playing on the perimeter. We do see some more players fill in. Martin needs to make both of these. You will think 10 seconds the Indians are just going to be chucking up a 3. A very raucous Mascoutah crowd. Martin gets the first one to go. 54-52. 10 seconds on the clock.
What I will say about Martin is his grandparents live about 4 houses down from mine, and he used to shoot on my basketball hoop back when he was a kid. Would love to see him make this second free throw here.
To make it a 3-point game. Does not get it to go. McCoo with the board. 9 seconds now. Allen. McCoo is driving. We've seen him so lethal on the fast break for 3. It's no good. Epinesa with the board. And a whistle with time on the clock. And
Brett Bielema in for a treat. Epinesa going to the line to send the Tigers up 4. 2 seconds on the clock. It's going to have to be a catch and shoot for the Indians off 1 missed free throw.
Also 96 viewers. This is ecstatic. A Tuesday night like this, just very happy to share this experience with you all at home. Epinesa, this will show Coach Brett if he has that X factor. He just needs to make one of these. He just needs to make one of these. McCoo is not in the inner 2 to get the board. Misses the first. Epinesa, we know he's not fantastic from the free throw line. Shoots less than 30%.
Indians have no timeouts. It's going to have to be a
prayer. And Epinesa misses both. Young gets the board. Buzzer beater! Oh, it's off the back of the rib! Oh my goodness, that was so much closer than it had any, goodness sake, right to be. Oh my goodness, folks. This is a fantastic game. I'm so excited I can share this all with you. Austin, what did you see tonight?
That was a very hard-fought game by the Tigers. Didn't expect it to be this close coming into tonight, but little did we know.
Little did we know.
Tigers get the overtime win, 54-52. Who do you think's player of the game?
I don't want to seem too cliche, but Yossi Epinesa was locked down on defense, was money in the paint in the second half. he had so many fantastic plays in overtime. For me, it's Yosei. 11 points on the night. That is well above his average. It's double his average, in fact. That's my player of the game.
It's been a great call with you tonight, Zach.
Yes.
Thank you all for tuning in. I've been Austin Yamnitz.
And I've been Zach Hennett. Thank you so much, and we will see you for the next game.